Hello guys, it's Rotodice. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play. As you can see, I've got the other Golem farm up and running. I got the villagers loaded in there. I really appreciate the help iJars gave me finishing that one out, and it's producing. So this one just came from this farm, and this one is coming down from that one. I've also done a little work on the home there. I put some nether brick fence in some of these creases around the towers, and also hung some vines and gonna let them grow down a little bit, and I'll go over there and show you what that looks like. I wanted to show you the iron output right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 stacks, and I've already got a stack of iron blocks here, so it's doing okay. I've been letting that go for a little bit. Got the cows up, need them for the leather. Extended my sugarcane farm out a little bit now that I took down that nasty little temporary holding cell for those villagers. Also raised the glowstone up 1 block. I was having a hard time walking underneath it to get any sugarcane that I wasn't able to pick up when I was harvesting it. So this is what I've done with the outside. Just put some nether brick fence in. I looked at the nether brick fence, the wooden fence post, and also iron bars, and decided, for my taste at least, that I like the way the color of the nether brick goes with the gray. And put some vines. I just started with one in the middle, and it spread and grew out, and has even come over to here. Originally, before I had this stack in here, it had started growing over, and I just took out the vines in this crease. So I still got a couple of nether brick fence creases to fill in on the back side of this tower and the back side of that other tower over there. So hung some vines on these straight walls here, and I don't think that was anything else I did that I can remember to the building, at least, or the house. Let's see, the inside. Upstairs I went ahead and put in a few more furnaces here. I don't remember if I had showed you that before, but I went ahead and got the storage put in here. I know Frozen gave me a good idea to use chest and trap chest. I can put trap chest in between these and save room. I kind of like the way that these are spread out a little bit. It gives me a little bit to look at. It's not so congested. I mean, he's got a really good idea for saving space, but I think I'm going to stick with this unless I start needing more. So I've started to gather some of the supplies and organize them in some form or fashion, and we'll just see how that starts working out. I'm going to have to change that up a little bit. So the next thing I need to work on is the villager trading system. Let's see. I need to start breeding some villagers. Don't remember if I showed you last time, but I went ahead and dug down some stairs here and dug out a little room and put some slots in here where I can put some villagers when I get the ones I want to keep. I've been trading quite a bit, and I'm trying to get that perfect villager. So I think what we'll do is spend a little bit of time today talking about villager trading, and as it exists currently in the current version. And I say that because the villager trading is going to change somewhat from what I hear in the next major release of Minecraft. I believe that's going to be 1.8. I'm currently on 1.74, I think, and you can still get a perfect villager using this. Right now my villager breeding system is turned off. I can tell because the water's on, which means my villager is not up top, he's down below back there. So what I need to do is I need to get some white villagers, white coated villagers, the librarians, like this guy, and I need to try to trade with them to get the paper on the last slot. So these villagers, the librarians in particular, they have 8 trades. And the perfect villager would be if paper is the 8th trade. So in order for me to get to the second trade, I would first have to trade 10 emeralds to get this one compass, and then hopefully it would unlock the second trade. And as long as that's not paper, then I would keep going and keep trading in hopes that paper would be at the last one. So you can see this can get pretty expensive, as I'm going to go through a ton of different villagers, finding paper on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, even the first slot. It's going to take me a while to get through these in order to find one that has paper on the 8th slot. But once I have that, I will be able to constantly, indefinitely trade paper with him unless the server gets upgraded to version 1.8. And if that happens, we'll talk about villager breeding, not breeding, but villager trading with 1.8 and the differences. But for right now, since we're on 1.74, that's what I'm going to stick with. And if I got that perfect villager, I can always trade paper with him for emeralds. I can then turn around and use those emeralds to buy diamond armor and weapons from the blacksmith. Now, the blacksmith has a ton more trades. I believe it's 26 trades, so that one is really expensive. I'll have to look to be certain, but the priest is another one that I like to trade with because they can give you enchanted items. If you give them a diamond pick, they can enchant that pick and give you something. Most of the time it's not too good, but every once in a while you'll find one with silk touch or looting or something like that on it. Fortune, those type of things. If I get one that has efficiency 3, unbreaking 3, well then I might go ahead and trade those and then just combine them on an anvil to get the efficiency 4. So that would be a cheap way of turning paper into emeralds and emeralds into diamond tools, weapons, and armor. And then I can also take that diamond tools, weapons, and armor, add emeralds with that, trade with the priest to get some enchanted items, if it happens to be a good enchantment. If not, of course I wouldn't do that. I would go ahead and use the enchantment table. So I need to start working on some of these guys as well, but my first objective is to get the perfect villager, because I need that in order to get a crap ton of emeralds. So I'm going to start working on that, and I'll be back when I have one. Alright, we'll see you soon. Alrighty, so here's where we're at right now. I went ahead and brought some villagers down below from up top. I just used the mine carts, pushed them through the rails, and put them in these different cells. I've got some chests up above just in case I want to put something in them if I'm trading with them, but let's take a look at this guy. So the first trade was the compass. I traded that and it unlocked this written book. I traded that and it unlocked books. I traded 11 books for an emerald. It unlocked this, which was Silk Touch, so that was pretty nice. I actually traded some of those and got several of these Silk Touch books because those can always be needed and they're tough to get with enchantment, at least for me they are. So the next trade that I unlocked was this clock. So that is first trade, second, third, fourth, 5th was the clock. So now I'm thinking, okay, there's only 8. I've got the 6th, 7th, and 8th to go. 3 more trades. Hopefully, and paper hadn't come up yet, so paper has to be one of them. Next trade was paper. So I looked at the other ones that we're going to have. One of them was going to be pretty cheap, which is this one, the glass. I was hoping that would have been on the last trade, because basically I could trade paper, and then to unlock the paper trade again, I would only need to spend 1 emerald, buy some glass, and then it would unlock the paper trade again. But it came up in the 7th slot, which means the 8th slot was the bookshelf, I believe. Yeah, the bookshelves, and that's a little bit more expensive, 3 emeralds. So I kept him just in case I needed to get some emeralds. It was going to be a give and take, so to speak. On average, I can probably trade and get 7 or 8 emeralds, but sometimes I only get 2 emeralds, and then I have to unlock the last trade again to unlock the paper trade. It won't let me trade any more than to get 2 emeralds, and it would cost me 3 emeralds to undo it, so I'd be losing some emeralds sometime, gaining a few on the other times. It would just be slow going to get any kind of emeralds accumulated. However, it's better than nothing, so I kept him and kept going at it, and then I ended up with this guy. First trade was bookshelves. Second trade, not a very good book, but I had to trade with it just to get past it. Projectile Protection 2. Third trade was the books. Fourth trade was the glass. Fifth trade was the written book. Sixth trade was the compass. So that only leaves 2 more trades. Seventh trade is the clock. You know what that means, don't you? The 8th trade has to be paper. Ah. Yeah, paper, brother. So, perfect villager right here. And I gotta tell you, I probably had to go through 30 plus librarian villagers to get this perfect villager. But I finally got him. I've been harvesting in between the sugar cane, and I've got a little bit of paper stored up here in these 2 chests. I've got some emeralds left over from the trading, just a little over a stack and a half. So I went ahead and brought down a blacksmith, and I made the first trade. I wanted a blacksmith that had the diamond trade early, and it wasn't 5 diamonds, it was only 4 diamonds, so it wouldn't be that expensive. And there's a reason for that. Usually, not always, but most of the time, probably 90% of the time, the first trade, you only have to trade once and it unlocks the second trade. So I didn't want this diamond trade coming up on the 20th trade where I had to trade with him 12 times or something like that, 4 diamonds a pop, and it costed me 48 diamonds to get past that trade to the 21st trade. I wanted it on the very first one, cost me 4 diamonds only. And the next trade is where I'm at right now, and that's 10 emeralds for a diamond axe. So I'm only on the second trade for this guy. He has 26 trades, so I'm going to trade with him a little bit and unlock some of these. Let's see, we have our emeralds. By the way, those are those Silk Touch books, and I'm going to buy me probably 5 more if I can until it goes away. But let's go ahead and start trading some of this with the blacksmith. So we need 10. I only want to do 1 of these. I don't want to do a whole bunch of them, because my objective is just to unlock that trade, I should say the next trade. So we come off the menu, give it a few seconds, go back to it. Alright, so the next trade's unlocked. This arrow now is red for me. By the way, this is just a texture pack that causes this arrow to go red. For any of y'all who are wondering, I am using ProLines texture pack. So hopefully that'll answer that question. I'm sure it's bound to come up sooner or later. What texture pack am I using? And it's ProLines. Alright, so the next trade is gold for an emerald. So I need to go get some gold from upstairs. I don't have any on me. And I started, after smelting up iron and gold and things like that, any of that excess that I had, I started turning them into blocks. So I might have to make a block. Now I've got a little bit here. See, I've got 11 blocks of gold and some more that I still haven't smelted. Okay. Over here. I still get disoriented in my own house. It's pretty pathetic. So blacksmith wants 8 gold for 1 emerald in return. I'll take that 1 emerald and bring my gold back down and see if that unlocks the 4th trade. So the reason he has so many trades is he not only will trade the diamond tools, weapons, and armor, but also the iron tools, weapons, and armor. He also will do gold and silver as well, and I'm sure there's some other trades in there that I'm not thinking of, but I'm gonna get through all of them eventually. So 11 for a pick. That was a fourth trade, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we have a long ways to go, and it's going to get to a point where just trading once with him is not going to be enough. He's going to want me to trade multiple times before he unlocks the next trade, and that's where it gets expensive with this guy. As long as it's something small, it doesn't cost too much, then I'm okay with it. Alright, so there's an iron helm. That's going to be 4. There's the diamond helm. That's going to be 7. So as you can see, as long as I have emeralds, I can buy these from this blacksmith villager. And I'll always have emeralds as long as I have that perfect villager and can trade paper to get emeralds. We're going to have to do that here pretty soon because we're going to run out of emeralds real quick. There's the leggings. Oops, I don't have enough there. And my leggings are just about gone, so I'm going to go ahead and put those on. I'm not going to use my diamond gear and stuff yet. I'm going to have to trade that with the priest, the purple robed villager. Alright, there's an expensive one. That's one of the most expensive ones, is the diamond chest plate. Hopefully I don't have to buy too many of those. I like to see that early too. In previous games I've had that diamond chest plate come up late in the trading, like trade 21, 22, 23, something like that. And I had to buy literally over 20 of those things, so it was so expensive to get it to unlock the next trade. Alright, see, it didn't turn red, so I got to buy another one to get that to unlock. I can't go past it, so I'm having to buy a second one. And I got to buy a third one. And I'm going to have to buy a fourth one, but I don't have enough emeralds. So I think what I need to do is probably put some of this stuff up here. And grab some of this paper. I'll start with this guy's paper. Get it off of that sword. I don't want to kill this guy by accident. Yep, this is the one that has it last. Now it's at 26 now. The more and more I trade with him, that'll eventually go down to all the way to 24, which is the cheapest you can get. So once I have the 64 in there, if I hold down shift, it will give me 2, because 26 goes into 64 2 times. It will give me 2 emeralds, or I can double click on this, get my 38 back. Try this again. It didn't give me 2. Alright, so let's try this again. I got 64 in there. I've got 15 here. If I hold down shift, I then get 17. In order to get 64 in here without having to grab it and put it on top of it, if I just click 3 times real fast, 1, 2, 3, it grabs 64 and puts it back in there. Alright, so you can see I can't trade anymore. It's at 18. It won't go anymore, so I have to let that reset. When I say reset, I have to go off of it, This is typically where you'd have to go to the next trade, but since there's not another trade, the 8th trade is always paper, so it's always going to be unlocked. So now there's 20, 22, 24. See, that time we could only get 23, so we didn't get very many out of that, maybe 5. It's still at 26. So you can see if I had to trade bookshelves and it was costing me 3, I was only getting 5, and I have to spend 3, I'd really only be grossing, or I should say netting, 2 emeralds off of that, and that would just be a slow go. It'd be very costly for paper to only get 2 emeralds every time. So that's what the importance of the perfect villager. We'll go through this as quick as possible to get some more emeralds. Let's go ahead and use the ones we have now. This was 17. Then we can come over here and trade some more. And then while that's resetting, I'll come over here and see, do I have it unlocked? Yes, the next one, that was the chest. The next one is the iron axe. While it's resetting, trade some more till it won't let me trade, like that. And then while that's resetting, I'll come over here and see if I can get past that iron axe. Yes, I can. Okay, there's the diamond sword. And I gotta buy another one. I really need to get some more paper. It has to reset. I don't have enough emeralds to buy another sword, so I need to trade some more first. So hopefully you can get an idea of the villager trading. I know Doc M has a great video on it. He's real good at explaining things. I can't say I'm the best at it, but he goes into a little detail, shows it kind of like what I was doing, and it really helps to understand the villager trading, because at this point I shouldn't have to mine for diamonds ever again. Unless they upgrade it to 1.8. 1.8, now I haven't done the reading myself, it's all been through rumors, but I'll tell you what I've heard so far, is that once you get to the last trade and unlock it, such as this, the paper trade, and I trade with him so many times, it will reset all the trades. So the next time I go to trade with him, paper might be in the 3rd trade slot. Instead of always being in the last and just staying there, it will be switched around somehow. So that's going to make it to where there's no such thing as a perfect villager. You'll just have to go through these guys and trade until you get the paper trade, and trade as many emeralds as you can, and just don't buy the expensive stuff like the clocks and the compasses and things like that. If you come across a villager and he has one of those expensive trades right off the bat, I would say just kill him and bring out another villager till you get a librarian, and then see what his trade is. Hopefully they'll have paper on the 1st trade, glass on the 2nd trade, and maybe the bookshelf on the 3rd trade. Past that, maybe even books, because that doesn't cost a whole lot but just leather and a little bit of paper. So those would be the things I would trade to get emeralds, and then just get your emeralds and kill the guy off, and just keep going through them. So that's where the villager breeding system comes in, is you'd have an infinite source of villagers. Alright. I find myself having to wait for paper I should say for paper, for the cane to grow so I can harvest it to get more paper. So I started off with a stack and a half of emeralds, and I've bought several more. You can see how quick I have to go through these things. Now I'm on trade. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm on the 12th trade, so I'm not even halfway through this thing yet. I've probably gone through 2 stacks of emeralds. Now this is iron. I don't quite have enough on me to make that trade, so I'll need to grab some. Of course, iron's the one thing I have plenty of. Another golem coming from that new farm that iJar's built. I'm hoping she's going to want to put in, oops, she's going to want to put one of those in and call on me to help her out, because I sure don't mind doing it. She was a big help to me. Let's put those back in there. Alright. So I guess as far as a perfect blacksmith would go, it'd be good if this was the very last trade, silver. But I'm not too worried about whatever the last trade is, because it's just going to cost me emeralds, and I should always have an infinite amount of emeralds, so I would always be able to reopen up any trade on the board, whether it be a sword, a pick, whatever it is I need. And I'm just going to go through these emeralds that I have on me. This is just to give you guys an idea of the villager trading and how it works and how you can benefit from it. So did we get past the iron? Yes, we're to the leggings. And it's going to become too expensive at some point here pretty soon. That's going to want me to buy some more, and I've only got 4. So anyway, I think we'll stop that right there and call it good. I'll do some more of this off camera and show you what's going on in the next episode. I haven't lined up anybody else yet to work with. I'm still trying to get that nailed down. I really enjoy doing the videos with other guild members of Overgrowth and spending some time with them and just hanging out and talking and getting something accomplished, whether it's something for me or something for them. Either way, I'm good with. So I'm going to see if I can't nail down somebody that needs some help with a project and go help them, or have them come out here and help me. I do want to get that mob grinder built out in the ocean out that way. I've already got a pillar way out there, and it goes up 128 blocks in the air just to a little platform, and that's it. That's all I have so far. I haven't built any other portion of it, and I've got a lot of cobble, which is what I'm going to make it out of, since it's so high up in the air it won't be seen by very many, and I'm pretty far out too, so it's just going to be functionality, not looks. So until then, I guess we will see you next time. Y'all take care.